Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. As we step into this new year with hope, what are brands and marketers hoping for? And what are the big trends in advertising and marketing that will define 2022? Ankita Saxena finds out from Navin Khemka, CEO South Asia at MediaCom. Listen in.
Hi Naveen, welcome to CNBC TV 18. Many thanks for joining us and wish you a very happy new year.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Always a pleasure to be back.
Naveen, what a year 2021 has been. We started out on a good note. In the middle of the year, we had the second dire wave of COVID, and now we have a looming threat of the Omicron variant. As we enter 2022 with a lot of hope, what are your expectations from this new year?
If you look at 2021 to begin with, we expected to end 2021 at around 78,000 crores, which is a growth of almost, I would say, about 23%. On this 23% growth, TV and digital, if your television and digital are at 80% of the ADEX, so they have obviously become the two most dominant mediums of the ADEX. However, this entire 78,000 crores is still, I would say, 6% lower than what we did in 2019. So therefore, what we are saying is 2022, we will see the real growth in the ADEX coming in post 2019. So the ADEX will grow for the first time. And I would say really the worst is behind us. Also 2022 in Q1, I expect it to be extremely buoyant with IPL coming back in India for the first time in 2 years. With the new teams coming in, there is expected to be a lot of excitement and buzz. In fact, a lot of brands have already started planning for the Q1 of 2022, and I don't see any reason for worry going forward.
Right, Naveen, so if I had to ask you, what are the top three trends, top three advertising trends that will define the year 2022?
A lot of views on that, but however, I think the top three trends would be first. Again, lot of people have spoken about this, but I would still say first party data will become very, very critical. Marketing organizations will start investing heavily in this with the privacy legislations kicking in on third party cookies. They will also want to get a better view of their present and future consumer. Second, I would say brands, well, a lot of brands are doing it already. Brands will, and more brands will start creating customized content depending on the platform, television, OTT, Facebook, Insta, YouTube, etc., etc. And there's so much of social content that is getting created now. There will be no one size fits all approach. So I think what brands will do now is there'll be a macro strategic blueprint, and platform specific content creators, specialized content creators will create stories within that strategic framework that will be laid out by a brand agency. And last but not the least, I would say innovations in advertising led by technology will definitely gain momentum, and we've already started seeing a lot of that happening. Marketers will be willing to invest behind new tech solutions to reach out to consumers. This eventually, in the long run, will help make marketing spends more and more accountable.
Naveen, this is the beginning of the year. It is that time of the year when advertising budgets get chopped out. So, what exactly are your clients looking for? Because, as you rightly mentioned, that IPL is coming back to India after such a long time. It has stirred up excitement amongst the advertisers. So, what are the advertisers looking for? Are they going to spend cautiously? And which medium is going to dominate the maximum percentage of the ad spend pie?
So, as I said earlier, that we expect real growth in ADEX to come in 2022 for the first time since 2019. So the worst is behind us. We'll end 2021 at about 78,000 crores, and therefore 2019 I think we were at 82,000 crores. So in 2022, I think we are likely to add around 14 to 15,000 crores into the ADEX, which would mean that will be above 90,000 crores, which means growth will return for the first time. This again will be led by, I would say, digital and television together. Together, I think they will command more than the current 80% of the share of ADEX. So the dominance of TV and digital will only keep going up. While television is more dominant than digital right now, I think the ratio is about 45-35 in the 80% split. However, I think in the next 3 to 4 years, you will see digital also overtaking television, because the incremental ADEX is more skewed towards digital as we speak. In terms of advertisers, what I could say is, depending on the category you are operating in, clients are extremely optimistic and they are seeing growth's return. They are seeing a normal year in 2022. And therefore, I would say currently, as we see, I see some increase in budgets to the tune of 18 to 20% across most of the advertising categories that we are operating on right now.
Right, Naveen, if you look at it, if there is any sector that has really held out well amidst all the confusion and chaos, unpredictability of 2021, it is the advertising sector, where the recovery seems to be well above last year's ad volumes. If you look at the BARC numbers for the month of October, the festive period, it was record breaking. We saw the highest ever ad volumes, and it was up 11% year on year, 23% up from 2019, the pre-COVID levels. Now, will this momentum really sustain, or was it just a result of a lot of pent-up demand?
Yeah, Ankita, I know this is worrying everybody right now. However, look at 2021 now first. We have to remember what happened in 2021. In the festival period, we were actually coming out of a disastrous second wave, where the summer quarter was almost, I would say, almost wiped off for most categories, especially the summer categories. Apart from this, the other factors that contributed in the festival of 2021 were big cricket series in H2, which was the remaining part of IPL, because IPL had to be called off, if you remember, in the summer of 2021, the remaining part of IPL. Then the entire T20 World Cup, which obviously happened very successfully, they were all in the festival season. We also, because again, as you rightfully said, because of the entire pent-up demand, we had a record number of auto launches in the H2 of 2021, and that led to a lot of advertising coming in. And last but not the least, I would say the maximum unicorns in India actually were born in 2021. And all this led to a substantial amount of money, be it cricket money, or be it the auto launches money, or be it the VC money coming into media and advertising. And that led to a huge amount of festival spending that we had in 2021.
Right, that's an interesting point, Naveen. The advent of the new advertisers, there was a rise in 22% in the new advertisers in the month of October, November. Is this trend likely to continue?
I would say that trend will continue, and we continue to see India as a very buoyant market where a lot of new advertisers are actually emerging every week, and we keep getting briefs from new clients, new startups who are actually wanting to make their mark in the media world. If you look at the funding data, I mean, from Series A to Series B to Series C to Series D, there are brands which are continuously raising these funds, and they actually want to create a brand, and they want to do it fast. So this momentum, this trend is expected to continue, and this will only increase the number of advertisers that we have operating in the market in 2022.
Naveen, now cinemas have opened up. Some of the cities, they're operating at full 100% capacity, and so has outdoor advertising. I mean, there is some aggressive outdoor advertising by the OTT platforms like Netflix. I mean, there are buildings that are painted with money heist posters. So how well are cinemas and outdoor advertising recovering, and what about the print media?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Yeah, because we keep speaking about television and digital, we actually forget the other media at times. So yeah, I would say outdoor advertising again more led by mobility data. As the mobility has increased to pre-COVID levels, we've seen the volumes go up. And as you rightfully said, on OTT platforms, their advertising is more led by key launches. As they invest more and more on local content, the opportunity for them is really to expand the audiences to increase the base. And as you can see, as early as last week, you can see that they are getting very aggressive on the pricing plans also. Cinemas also, as you rightfully says, we are seeing more and more states now giving 100% capacity in terms of seating capacity. Big blockbusters have released, and I would say they've had great openings. As a result, brands who've always used this medium long term are back with a bang. Again, no issues on that going forward. Print, on the other hand, yeah, I agree, will take some time to recover. Only certain categories are using print as a launch platform. Print success largely, I would say, will depend on local advertisers coming back, local advertisers like real estate, I would say education, I would say local retailers, local restaurants coming back and using them aggressively for immediate impact.
Right. Also, Naveen, we've gone through, 2 years of lockdown, 2 years of this pandemic, that we are better placed perhaps in handling the situation? Should there be a new variant like Omicron?
Yeah, this is again very interesting actually. 2021 has shown us how we can survive the pandemic. Businesses and consumers have learned to adapt to this. So yeah, I would say 2020 we were all experimenting because it was a pandemic that hit all of us and caught us unawares. 2021 we are now confident of how to deal with it. 2022, I would say we will all adapt to the new normal.
All right, Navin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Always a pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon. And here is wishing you all a Happy New Year.